Welcome to SEIS. Writing and managing goals is one of the most important aspects of writing and managing the IEP. With SEIS, you have a tool that will help you write these goals, help you to organize and manage these goals, and a tool that will help you tell the story of your student. This video will show you the SEIS best practice for organizing and managing goals. These best practices were designed to be used with the state IEP forms. However, the underlying principles behind these best practices can be applied to all forms being used in SEIS. The actual best practice in managing goals is knowing when to keep and when to delete goals. Keep in mind the actual goal page of the IEP contains more than just the goal. It also contains fields for progress reports and the annual review. Once the goals have been accepted at an IEP meeting and the IEP affirmed and attested, these goals will be on both the current and future IEPs. The current IEP displays the goal is accepted at the IEP meeting. The goals on the future IEP is where these progress reports and annual review fields will be completed over the course of the coming year and used to review the progress of the student at the next IEP meeting. So it is important to note that the future IEP will contain goals from the last IEP meeting to report progress on, and any goals written during the course of the year that will be proposed at the next IEP meeting. In this discussion, you will be using the title field of the goal page to help organize these goals as they progress through time. On the state forms, information written in the title field is for your use only and will not print out on the IEP when it is printed. If you want to print out a title on the IEP, you can use the measurable annual goal number field. In this example, on the future IEP, there are two goals that are listed as current goals in the title field. These two goals represent the goals that were approved at our last IEP meeting and are now on the current IEP in addition to this future IEP. During the course of the year, you will record progress reports for each of the goals you are responsible for using the progress report utility found on the IEP list page. Even though these progress reports are written in a different area of SEIS, you can see that they are actually recorded on the goal pages of the future IEP. These progress reports become a part of the goal page, so at your next IEP meeting, you can use these goal pages to review the progress of your student. During the course of the year, you may come up with new goals that you might want to include on your student's next IEP. You can use the goal pages of the future IEP to record these goals. Use the title field to show them as proposed goals, so it is easy to differentiate proposed goals from current goals on the goal summary page. As you approach the next annual IEP meeting, and it is time to review the IEP as you prepare for your next meeting, you need to review each of the student's current goals and write an annual review. This can be done using either the progress report utility found on the IEP list page or the edit link for each goal you are reviewing on the goal summary page of the future IEP. As each goal is reviewed, write a detailed summary of the outcome of the goal. You are telling a story here, so make sure everything that needs to be included is included in the story. This makes a nice electronic paper trail, so anyone looking at this IEP in the future will know exactly what happened to each one of these goals. When writing the annual review for each of these goals, you will need to go into the goal page and change the title from Current Goal to Reviewed Goal. The wording is not important here, as long as you and the rest of the team understand what is happening. At this point in time, you should now have two sets of goals listed on your future IEP. Goals to review during the IEP, and new goals that will be proposed during the IEP. If you did nothing to order these goals, They should be in the order they were added to the goal summary page, or the order the goals were written in SEIS. In our example, the goals have fallen nicely with our older to be reviewed goals at the top and our newer proposed goals on the bottom. Then, when you print out your IEP, the older to be reviewed goals will print out first, followed by the newer proposed goals. If left in this order, you can now review each page of the IEP systematically, and when you get to the goal pages, you will review each goal one by one as you go through the pages, until you reach the newer proposed goals, where you can then propose the goals one by one until you finish the goal section of the IEP. As each goal is accepted or rewritten, change the title of the goal from proposed to current. This can be done after the IEP meeting if you are holding your meetings offline, or easily done during the meeting if your meetings are held online. Another method of organizing these goals is to use the drop-down order boxes on the goal summary page to order the goals so they appear in pairs: old goal, new related proposed goal, and so on, alternating the review so that as each old goal is reviewed, the new related goal is proposed. After the IEP, if you wish to have the goals appear in a different order on the new current and future IEPs, use the number drop-down boxes to reorder these goals. This is a handy way to organize the old goals from the new goals on the current IEP, so it is easy to tell which ones are current goals and which ones are older goals. At the end of the IEP, the new future IEP needs to be affirmed and attested. This will create a new current IEP with the goals in this exact order. And it will also create a new future IEP that looks exactly like this. This is when it is safe to go back to the future IEP to delete the old goals. Once these old goals are deleted from the future IEP, you will be ready to start recording progress reports and working on your next IEP. The important thing to remember about this best practice is to know when to keep and when to delete goals from the future IEP. The key is making sure the older reviewed goals are still on the future IEP when you affirm and attest the IEP, and then delete the old review goals after the affirm and attest. Managing goals is not only important when you are writing IEPs, but will help ensure that you are properly recording and accounting for the progress of your student on the IEP. It tells the story of the student, and that is really what your goal is in the world of SEIS.